Coach, I want to thank you for all you've done for the game, for all you're going to do for the game. And I want to welcome you to Canton, Ohio, where your bronze your legacy is going to live forever. Congratulations, Coach.
What a special moment that was. Our next guest is a guy that I have the pleasure of sharing the TV screen with on Sundays. He's a member now of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Centennial class. He amassed 149 wins in his 15-year career as a head coach with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Led that team to a victory in Super Bowl 40. Please welcome my brother, Coach Bill Cowher.
Oh, yeah!
Woo!
Hey, you guys.
What's up, baby?
How you guys
Coach,
doing, man? This is
good.
Yeah.
You had a few days. You had a few days to let this honor set in. What does it mean now to be part of the Pro Football Hall of Fame Centennial class?
Well, it's only been a few hours since I've returned every text and email that I've gotten, so I've had a chance to maybe sit back and reflect a little bit. But it's so special, and I think every day you wake up, it kind of resonates more and more. And you know, you're talking about a very elite group of people, and then, as I saw this morning, some of the newest Centennial class members of Harold Carmichael, who I've played with, Jimbo Colbert, who was from Pitt and Pittsburgh, and Steve Sable. Boy, I mean, what an integral part he has been of my career in the National Football League, and just a guy who kind of broke the barriers of giving the people on the outside a little glimpse of what it's like on the inside.
Coach, can you just take us through Saturday for a little bit? You're preparing for a show, obviously. You've got these huge football games. The Ravens are playing the Titans at night. And you guys are preparing, and suddenly David Baker walks through those walls. Let us hear, what was it like for you? And really, honestly, was that as a surprise as it came off, or was this something that you maybe thought could have happened?
No, Peter, I'm telling you, that morning, ironically, my wife, V, and I had talked at the coffee table because it was a later afternoon. We had the nighttime show, and I had kind of come to closure. And I told her I don't think I'm getting in, and I'm okay with it. And I was prepared to go into the production meeting thinking if anyone's like, hey, have you heard anything? And all I got to do is look at Nate's reigning champ T-shirt when he hasn't taken off for any one of our production meetings. I got to see that. But we end up having just not even talking about it. And I thought, well, you know, that's kind of, they respectfully have given me my space because whatever's going to happen, I'll probably get a call Tuesday night, whatever. So no one had said a word, and we're going out and getting ready to do my eye vision with Phil Simms, and all of a sudden I look over and see David Baker, and I almost put closure to it. And I'm like, whoa, what's this? And then, just trying to process that information, first words like, this is not its way it's supposed to be. That's not how I have always envisioned that happening. There's a knock on the door, or there's a call or something, and I wanted my privacy. I'm not a guy that likes to share my emotions with a lot of people. I turn around and see my wife and daughter there, like, wow. And Nate got to see me the next day doing a Tops hit, and my daughter who's in Tokyo, who couldn't be there, sent this unbelievable Instagram message, and man, that just, I broke down, and it was one of those moments that it's kind of almost seems surreal, and so I think with each day it kind of resonates more and more.
Well, we thank you for sharing that moment, letting us all be a big part of that, and for just celebrating it. And congratulations, by the way, Coach. You built your legacy there in Pittsburgh. You have a relationship with that city, with that community that goes well beyond your coaching days. You grew up there in nearby Crafton. So what did it mean to sort of get that situation to happen on that set in front of the world? And what did it mean to you as you look back at the moments and the decisions that got you here, even when Dan Rooney took that chance on a then 34-year-old Bill Cowher?
Yeah, he did, and I think the biggest thing I look back on is that there's two people that mean so much in my life, and the first is Marty Schottenheimer. I played for Marty Schottenheimer with the Cleveland Browns. He talked me into coaching at the age of 28 when I was a special teams captain with the Philadelphia Eagles in my 5th year. And I quit, and I went right back to the Cleveland Browns, and I started coaching players that I had played with. And then from there, I followed him to Kansas City, where he gave me an opportunity to become a coordinator. And then it goes to Dan Rooney. And I always said I came back home on that at 34 years old from Crafton. And he stuck with me. I learned so much, not just as a coach through Dan Rooney and the Rooney family and the organization, but I grew as a person, I grew as a father, I grew as a husband. And so it was really special for me to be able to spend those 15 years with my kids in the same house, with my parents able to watch their grandkids grow up. And, you know, it's almost one of those storybook tales that you talk about, and I was able to live it. And I still feel so blessed, and so many people along the way. And I always tell the story that I grew up in Crafton, and when we won the championship in 2005, the mayor came up and says, we can name a street, we can name a bridge after you, and you know, all the bridges you have in Pittsburgh. I go, no, can you just name the alley behind my house? Because you know what, that alley behind the house is where all the dirty work took place, where my father used to take me out and he'd throw baseballs, and if I threw the ball into the ground and cinders came up, he got really mad. So I was never a good pitcher. I was always very high with the ball because I didn't want to get my dad mad by throwing the ball in the ground. And but I did a lot of things in that alley, and that represented really who I was. I'm that guy that I'm just going to work behind the scenes, and whatever happens, happens. And so this is just a very blessed time for me and everyone else, because it's really a reflection of the collaboration of the organization, the great players, the great coaches that we've had. You know, it was a lot of great memories that we will be able to share, hopefully someday, and hopefully someday in Canton soon.
Coach, Nate shared an anecdote with us that maybe you had come to grips with the fact that that Hall of Fame call might not happen. It might just not be meant to be.
Right.
Now that the call has come, now that you're going in, do you feel different? Is there extra validation? How does it feel? It finally happened.
You know, I don't think it's validation. I'm okay with that. I think if it was validation I needed, I'd go back to coaching. I don't need to validate anything that I did. I think it's a reward. And I think it's one of those things that you sit back and it really does change your life. And David Baker said that. I guess it changed your life because you look at things maybe a little bit different. You feel more of an odin of responsibility to carry on the great legacy that the National Football League has. And so I feel blessed to have the platform that we have. I feel blessed to be able to be at my age, to be able to share this with my family, with my grandkids. I think it's one of those things, honestly, I think it's just going to get better and better as time goes on. And again, it was nothing done by me, but I really can't wait to see the players and coaches and have a chance to share some great stories with and all the memories that we have shared in the past, because they were all a big part of that. I could not have done it without them. And support staff, the trainers, Jim Bradley, John Norwig. I mean, I go down the line, I mean, to be honest with you. And it's, again, it's very humbling. I feel very blessed, and it's still somewhat surreal.
Well, enjoy the moment, Coach. You deserve to be in football heaven, like I told you on Saturday. Congrats, and I love you, man. Have a good one.
Love you. I love you, except you hate calling you a reigning champ. That bothers me a lot.
Well, I won in the picks this year, Coach. You got to respect my genius, all right? I'm the Hall of Fame of picking games. Love you, man. See you this weekend.
You won on a tiebreaker. We had the exact same record. You won on a tiebreaker. So let's don't let the facts get away the good narrative.
That's the competitive.
It's going to take you to Cowher Alley.
That's Cowher Alley.
Look out.